Welcome to the fourth video with Jason Morgan. In this one, I'm going to show you a few exercises that you can do to preserve your health as an artist or as a painter. One thing which is problematic with exercises is that most people don't keep doing them every day as they should. And therefore, my approach to exercises is to really try and give you short exercises that are easy to fit anywhere and to avoid long gym sessions. So whenever I give you an exercise, there are two things that matter. One is precision in the execution. Two is frequency. And the first exercise that I'm going to give you is a typical example of that, as it should be done around 10 to 12 times a day. That means once per hour. How will we split the exercises? Well, the system I like to use is a two-box system. Box 1 is exercises that you should do every day. They belong to your daily routine, such as when you brush your teeth. Brushing your teeth is your daily routine. Box number 2 contains exercises that are useful, of course, but that you just need to do once in a while. That means a few times per week. There are two exercises that belongs to box number 1 for Mr. and Mrs. Everybody. And for the other ones, you can choose depending on your pathology, say, or on what you feel, and of course on your activity also. This box system is not written in stone, okay? You can review what you put in each box on a monthly basis or every 2 months. But let's dive into the topic and show you the first exercise. So this is a box 1 exercise. It's an exercise that you need to do every day. It's my famous upper body reset, which I teach to every profession and that I apply to myself also all the time. So for this exercise, which aims at relaxing your entire upper body, joints and muscles, we're gonna stand with the feet parallel. The reason being that if your feet are pointing outwards, you see that your pelvis is immediately shifting forward, which hollows your back. So we have the feet parallel and your knees are slightly unlocked. The reason for that is that if you lock your knees, clack, you hollow your back again. And the third, say, posture aspect to this exercise is that you need to shift your pelvis backwards. And when your arms can cross freely in front of your hip joints, you know that your pelvis is at the right place. Now starts the exercise. We will tackle one joint after the other, going from the fingertips to the hip joint, and we'll be quite systematic so that we're sure we don't forget any. So let's go. We start shaking the wrist. So it's a flexion extension movement, very loose, I don't want you to feel any type of pain. Now throw your fingers, throw your thumbs rather, and we go further to your elbows. So now you're hitting your chest and your shoulder blade. Carry on, hit your buttocks. Now you're relaxing your shoulder joints. And we'll move upwards to the cervical vertebrae, looking left and right. You see that my lower back is not moving yet. But now it is. So you look far to the left, far to the right. Now it's crucial that your pelvis is really pushed back. And the last step is maybe not for people who have an acute hernia. It's about flexing forward to stretch the back muscles. If you have a very recent history of a hernia, just bend down maybe just a little, maybe just your neck, but really don't go too far. In all the exercises I give you, staying within your comfort zone is crucial. So we were here doing big rotations. And now I flex my chin forward and keep rotating. And you see, I'm not going to go lower than my knee level with my hands. But look far to the left, far to the right, and upwards again. This exercise has lasted 40 seconds. It's very important that when you do this, you always look behind and not down or forward, otherwise you hollow your neck. So this is exercise number 1, and it's about relaxing everything. So as soon as you take a break, you get up and you do the exercise. And now I'm going to show you how to easily switch from standing out of your chair to doing the exercise. Let's say it's time to take a break. Well, I will flex my chin forward and the rest of the spine, which lightens my buttocks. So that's actually a very easy way to stand up. And now I can start with the relaxation just the other way around. So you see, every time you sit down or stand up, you can just take it as an opportunity to plug in this relaxation exercise. Exercise number 2, which still belongs to box 1, is about mobilizing your back. It's about giving mobility to each vertebra again, because as time goes by during the day, our back tends to compress and stiffen. It's an exercise which you think you know, but bear with me, because there are 6 variants and you'll see that you actually don't know them this well. If you experience any difficulty with going on all fours, no worries, no stress, I'm going to show you the lying down variant. There's a bit less mobility, but it's still going to be super useful for you. I'll start on all fours and preferably on my fists, because that avoids bending the wrist back and therefore exerting pressure on the carpal tunnel or in the elbow area. So I'm on my fists, and part 1 is what you know, is I use my pelvis to hollow my back, following the neck and look upwards. Same the other way around, start in the pelvis, finish rounding, look backwards. So you do this say 2-3 times, doesn't matter how much. And now we're gonna go to the variants. The first variant will be about opening your knees. When you open your knees, you actually focus the exercise in the lower back. So here you can do a few ways in backs too. You see that I move slowly. And now, big surprise, when you bend your knees, you target this very sensitive area, which is right between your shoulder blades, where we all tend to slump. Make sure that your knees don't reopen in the movement. So that's for variant number 1. Let's now look at variant number 2. Variant number 2 is a sideway movement. It's about bringing your hip joint to the shoulder on the same side. And you see that your back stays flat in the movement. This is what I call the happy dog. And you see, when I open my knees, the happy dog can be combined, they can target the lower back, whilst here it targets the upper back. Hence, the exercise is you start here, happy dog, and you move progressively with the flat back towards this knee bent position. As promised, the lying down version. So you lie down on your back, can be on bed, can be on the couch, can be on anything, and you bring your knees towards you. The first movement that we did was hollow flat. You see, I can tilt my pelvis and you see my hands here. This means my back is hollow. And then I'm gonna press my hand. So I'm making my back flat. It's gonna be difficult to make it round, but I can already train mobility between hollow and flat, and that's already great. So this is the first variant. Second part of the exercise is we're going to bring the hip joint to the shoulder on the same side. So it's going to look like this. Don't worry, what I do with my arms is just so that you can see my pelvis. Yeah? You see that the back stays flat whilst I'm moving the pelvis. So this is a great exercise to recreate mobility in your spine. It also belongs to your daily routine. Now we're going to switch to optional exercises. Among those which I show you now, you need to choose one for box 1. That means you do them every day. And the others will fit in box 2, i.e. you do them a few times per week. So we're going to go with 4 exercises now. The first one of the 4 exercises is about reinforcing your mid-back. This is aimed at preventing the slumping like this. We're going to proceed in 4 steps. You're going to rest your forearms on the inside of your knees, and the 4 steps are: 1, flatten your back in the lower part. 2, bring your chin inwards. 3, push your mid-back slightly forward. You see it's max half an inch. And then 4, you press your elbows on the inner part of your knees. and you thereby create muscle tension in between your shoulder blades, which you keep for around 40 seconds. There's a great variant of this exercise which is on the ground. It's very effective also. I should call it the prayer. So let me show you the prayer exercise. I'm going to proceed in 4 steps again. So my forearms are on the ground and lower back is flat, chin is drawn back, mid back is slightly forward, and I'm going to press my elbows in direction of my knees. This creates massive tension in between my shoulder blades too. So same, I keep it for 40 seconds. Why 40 seconds? Because it forces me to keep breathing. So you see, with this exercise, I'm trying to tackle one of the root causes of forward head posture. To cut a long story short, the problem with forward head posture is that when your mid-back goes round, your shoulders move forward and your head goes forward. And as a result of this cycle, you get neck pain, headaches and everything. Among the 3 factors I've shown, each one is a cause and the consequence of the 2 others, i.e. you just need one and you automatically get the 2 others. This is why in these exercises I'm tackling them so that we really try and prevent this vicious cycle. So that first prayer exercise was about fighting this, say, thoracic slumping. Now I'm going to show you how to prevent the shoulders moving forward, which is especially important for you guys. As we have discussed in video number 3, your arm is always extended forward and that is a source of round shoulders. For this exercise we need to be lying down on the back again, and you will be lying down with your knees bent, so that you can keep your lower back flat. And then your hand, your fist is clenched and put into onto your lower back area, yeah, that's really on your pelvis. And you see I use this hand to keep my head aligned, but it could be any pillow or something. And that's it. The exercise is about letting your elbow fall down due to its own weight, which pushes your collarbone backwards and opens your chest. This is an exercise that I'm very proud about because 1, I invented it, 2, if you look at the YouTube comments, that's the video on serratus anterior, which I'm going to link in the description below. People have had crazy and unexpected benefits of it because the pain it tries to tackle is a really sustained pain which makes people crazy, and many of them have found with this simple exercise a great solution to their long-lasting pain. So this is really something I'm very proud of. Now, third exercise. This third exercise is a combined exercise, lower back and neck. I'm still in the logic of saying, well, you will suffer from that, and once I have reinforced here and opened there, I may still have a problem with my neck, in particular the upper trapezius. So the third exercise I'm going to show you now includes a stretch of the lower trapezius, but it also includes a stretch of the lower back. Why not? What I love with this exercise is that, oftentimes you're going to realize that you're in bed and you forgot to do your exercises and you're going to be too lazy to get up. And with that exercise, you're going to have no excuse to not do your exercise because you can very much do it on bed even when you're too lazy to get up. So lie down on your back and you bring your knees in direction of your chest, but you don't bring them together. You bring them one after the other. This is it. That's a lower back stretch. It's important that your legs stay horizontal. And what we can now do is combine that with a neck stretch, which goes simply, I bring my ear in direction of my shoulder. And that is stretching the neck muscles on the opposite side. As it's a stretch, you need to keep it for at least a minute. Okay, let's switch to the last exercise. It's not the last one that would be potentially interesting for you. I mean, check out my YouTube channel. There are tons of exercises arranged by playlist, upper limb, lower limb. So there are many more exercises, but I think that this one has also a card to play in your daily routine. It's also an exercise which you can do lying down, which you should do lying down, typically on bed, and it aims at stretching your whole spine but also your chest. So it's what I would call a rather generic exercise. Imagine you're lying down in bed again, you bring one foot towards you, the other one, and what you're gonna do is lie down your arms on your side with your palms facing the ceiling. Make sure that your collarbones are going in direction of the ground, that means that you open your chest, and the only thing you do is put your two knees to one side. And from there what you can do is cycle with the upper leg. And you see that again, I can either look forward or I can actually turn a bit my neck to the opposite side, and this is a stretch for the front neck muscles. Voila, as we say in French. These are 6 exercises which are not the only exercises that may help you, but they are 6 generic exercises that are risk-free for most of you. And this is an important thing for me, as I don't know you, I don't know your medical file, I don't want you to take any risk. Just one final word. You may be surprised that I've not shown you any exercise to strengthen your neck or shoulders. Well, that's because you shouldn't. You should relax them. Posture rule number 2 states that you will never have issues, health issues, because your neck is too relaxed. Hence, your neck does not need to be strengthened, and that's why the last video, video number 3, was about what can we do to relieve the load on your neck. But strengthening it is not part of the game. What needs to be strengthened is the mid-back areas, lower trapezius, and the spinal extensors, and for this I have shown you in particular the prayer exercises, and there may be more.